Hi, my name's Diana. Today I'm going to show you how to make sourdough pasta. So first I'm going to start with 1.5 cups of flour. I'm going to spread it into a ring with a well in the middle. I'm going to crack 2 eggs and then 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to use 1 cup of sourdough starter. I'm going to use my fork to whip all these wet ingredients together, and as I do that, I'm going to gradually pull in the flour from the outer ring, and that's going to be the basis of our sourdough pasta dough. So I'm just going to keep folding that flour in until it becomes a workable dough. And I'm going to use my bench scraper to just get that all molded into a ball so I can start kneading it by hand. I'm going to knead just for a few minutes until I can fold all of this flour in, and then we'll check for stickiness and see if we need to add more flour to it. So as you can see, I'm pulling my hand away, the dough is still sticking. So I want to just add bits of flour and keep kneading until that stickiness goes away. I'm going to form this into a ball now that the stickiness is gone. I'm going to put all the seams to the bottom, and then I'm going to put it into a bowl that is not oiled. I'm going to just cover it and put it in a warm spot to rise for 4 hours. And after that's done, I'm going to put it into the refrigerator overnight for that long ferment so the sourdough can do its work. In the morning, I'm just going to take this dough ball and I'm going to cut it into 6 pieces so I can start working this dough into sheets. I would say each of these 6 pieces is going to be 1 serving. I'm going to start with a flat pasta sheeter. I'm going to go on the widest setting, and after I put it through once, I fold it into thirds and feed it through the opposite way just so I can get a nice uniform dough and square edges. I'm just going to go 1 notch at a time and make it thinner and thinner. So as the pasta gets thinner, it's going to get longer. And once it gets to that long point where I can't really work with it anymore, I'm just going to cut it into thirds so I can keep working it through the pasta sheeter. And I usually do that just before the very last setting, so I don't have to change the setting again for each additional sheet. And that looks pretty good, nice and thin. I'm going to cut these into fettuccine, so I kind of like the thickness to match the width a little bit more instead of having it super thin and wide. So I like to just end this one on the number 6 setting instead of going all the way to 8. And then I'm going to switch the pasta attachment to the cutter versus the sheeter. And now you can see I have fettuccine noodles. I'm just going to add some flour to that so it stays separated. And I'm going to pull each of these individual noodles apart so they don't stick together. So when I eat them, that I can experience each individual noodle. And last sheet through. That's how we cut the pasta. Super fast and easy. I'm going to add a bit of flour to that too so it doesn't stick. And then we're ready to move over the boiling water. So I have a pot of boiling water. I added 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to drop, you can do 1 or 2 bunches depending on how big your pot is, and use a spider or a fork to just separate those noodles so you don't get a clump of boiled pasta together. You just want them all to be in individual strands. I cooked mine for 90 seconds. It looks pretty done. I'm just going to pull those out and leave the rest of the water for the next noodles. Top it with your favorite sauce and enjoy.